here we go. Quick debrief. I'm going to try and make this short this time because we did a lot of flying. So here we go. Let's get started. Let's move straight into it. I'm going to let it play a little bit while I talk, and then I'll jump to specific jumps. So let's see if it's playing. Come on, play. Is it playing? Play. Why are you not playing? Sorry, that's me slow motioning it. Let's see what's going on. Why are you not playing this time, guys? Let's close it down. Let's bring it back up. Move you back into your screenshot. Okay, let's play. Oh, there we go. All right, don't know what was going on, but sorry about that. Wasted some seconds already. Okay, so the goal for these sessions was to remove, start, stop, grips, communicate. Okay, we need to get, we want to become synchronous as a team, and we want to start to rely on our flow, our synchronicity, our rhythm. So we want to learn how everyone operates as a team, which means building in very good habits, building in consistency, and then along the way, training everyone to do their job properly. Specifically, in this case, Chris at Insight Center, he's learning a whole new thing. He's going to take charge and lead the team. So a lot of this was just about giving him the opportunity to figure out what he needs to do to make that successful. So having a look at some of these early flats, you see all this movement, a lot of movement going on, some levels, some up and down, not really stationary, sometimes picking up grips before we've finished. Communication wasn't great. We already saw some jump keys, etc. But that was to be expected. Like, we all uncurrent, we've come back from a long layoff, so that's okay. Lauren, have a look at that. I'm going to rewind that. These are the kind of things we want to work on. Look at this, Lauren. You turned in, kind of picked up a grip, but you missed it. Your hand's not on it, and then we keyed. Okay, so those are the things that we're trying to fix now. So when I say we're going to turn, stop, grips, communicate, we're working on these things, and these are all little things that throughout the last couple of sessions we've addressed. Okay, let's keep going. So this is our first one, or first one or two. Let's have a look. EJKO. Next was PMQA. Let's have a look at that bad boy. That's the same one. Let's move on. P, M, Q, and A. Okay, not bad. I'm not gonna debrief this too hard because we got much better as we went on. So I just wanted to play a couple of the early ones, and then I'm gonna jump to about halfway and have a look at a few of those flats from there. So without further ado, let's jump on. Let's see what we got here. We've got another Q. This is the DOPQ. Let's have a look at this. Okay, so let me start with, let's look at you, Chris. Have a look in the center. Good communication, looking across, you know it's on. Chris leads, okay, you're still doing the kind of two-handed key kind of thing. I'm okay with that for now. We're going to work on the key technique. We're either going to work on last grips and how you can conduct a little bit more authoritatively, but for now, you're taking the lead, and that's what we're working on. And thank you to everyone for giving Chris the opportunity to lead. I know, Steve, especially you in the beginning, you wanted to run away with a couple of things the other day, so you really have to dial back, even if you're feeling comfortable, and really wait for Chris to kind of pick this up. And eventually, he's going to be pushing you guys, but we need to ease him into it. Good setup on the P's. I like. Great job from all of you. A little brain knock there, but not bad from you, Lorraine. And this is one of the better Ds. Less movement. As we started getting a little bit more comfortable, they started to move around a little bit more. We actually reach a point a little bit later on where things start to settle down a bit. So they started to settle down, then they got all movie, then they settled back down again. This is something for you, Corinne, that I'm going to be pointing out a lot, but we're going to have to watch your grips. I like these loosey grips that you take, but when you take them, they got to be good. So either a thumb around the back of the arm or something, but I'm gonna point it out now and again. You get away with it, 95 times out of 100, but there's definitely those 5 out of 100 that are a little bit loose. Chris, you're on the opposite sometimes. Sometimes you're too on the actual grippers, and especially Steve doesn't have these beautiful, easy grippers you can just put your hand on, so it takes you some time to get them. So we're going to work on that a little bit as well. Very nice. Going to where you needed to go, Chris, just a little side slide, setting up your center spot, allowing Lauren to step forward. Good presentation on the top there, Steve, and then great on the end. Corinne, you seem very comfortable there. Very nice. Good key. Good cue. Perfect. Now it's the Steve. Now look at your legs, Lauren. A little bit like you're not really prepared for it, but that's okay. See how you're turning? Now you start to move your whole body. So if I reverse this a tiny bit, at this point, Lauren, you should have had that left knee down. Okay, now you're going to crank a 180, and you're gonna stop. So it's a left knee down, a booty over, extend your body, turn, stop, pick up the grip. Okay, we need that crispness from you. As outside center, that's your job. We've talked about this through the engine. There's a lot of in, out, in, out, in, out. You have to fly very precisely with a lot of power, and you don't want to take too much momentum into things. Okay, so when we look at this, I'm going to go. We start to go. You realize you're a little bit behind. You're reaching for that grip already. Look at that. You've got the grip. You haven't even finished your move yet. You're reaching for this other grip that hasn't been made, and look at that. Okay, you've kind of moved backwards into it. There's a lot of momentum coming into it. So I'm just going to let this play a little bit so you can see what I mean. Nice, already looking more still. Very nice. You see how soft that is, Lauren? You turn, kind of fade into it, and then it comes out. It wasn't a stop, start, go. You kind of picked up both those grips at the same time. So from here, Lauren would normally be a crisp turn. I usually go left, right. I look and I key together with inside. I know we're giving Chris almost all the keys now, but we need to build up that kind of grip management profile, so to speak. Let's also look at the shape. So shapes is one of the things we talked about a lot in the beginning. Like, let's look at the shapes of all of our things. This D, we can already tell. The grip line comes down here. It's not bad. Actually, it could be a little bit more this way to make it a little bit better. Look at that reach for Chris. So Steve, if you had, turned a little bit further in, but you're taking your cue of Lauren. And because Lauren's late, because Lauren's picking up the script too early, she's kind of being lazy. You're setting up on her. So Lauren, you should have had a look, and you know that if this pairs like this, you need to be here. This is your spot, right? Okay, you're not facing that way, you're facing this way. So then Steve would have turned in more. So you're being a little bit, you're shortchanging him a bit there, Lauren. Okay, just by your lack of assertiveness. You need to own that move. Now crank. Crank. That's a better shape, but again, a little bit lazy coming into it, so Steve's kind of just getting onto the grip too soon, but it's better. Steve, know your move and wait for Lauren to do hers. Don't get onto it too soon. Okay. Very nice technique here. Look at this, Corinne. I like how you're using your legs. As we're going to see later, your starts are really good. Corinne, you have good power in some of them, but your stops sometimes let you down. So you do it well, and then you don't kill that momentum towards the end. So I'm watching Corinne now. Good anticipation of where that's going to go. It's almost like your right leg is really strong. Corinne, at this point, I would be transferring that. This leg would be coming out. Because you're going to a P, you can do a right turn now. So at this point, I would have started to release that and drop this one a little bit. Whoops, sorry, screen. But you just kind of float into it. Now you're at neutral, you're waiting for it, that's fine. So now we're going to the Q. So a little knee movement there, that's fine, but now I'd be stopping it. Getting ready for the D. You got a bit of a move to the D. And now, and look how you come back a little bit, Corinne. You should have done a 180 turn in place. If I look at your center point here, let me push play. See how you drifted back. And that happened quite a few times when I said we're turning and you're going around the corner. The center point here, you should crank a turn, which starts off well, and then it floats backwards. And I think that some of that has to do with Lauren. So these are little things we're out to fix, boys and girls. Look at our 7. Oh, we had an A to a Q there in the beginning, I think. Let's see where that is. There it is. Let's look at this. J. J. L. N. N. Okay, not bad. So these O's, I'm just going to stop things as I see them, guys. I know we still work on the foundations. Move, stop, grips, communicate. Okay, this is what we're working on, and then obviously shapes. So those were the goals for these sessions. So we want to think about them all the time. This O works, but this is really extended. Like you guys want to have your helmets closer to one another. Let's keep this tighter. This is a really extended O, and you almost miss that grip up here. No reason to kind of spread it out that far. Look at our P. Okay. You weren't quite sure there, Chris, where to go from here. It's just a center point straight sideways, and Lauren steps in here, and then Steve does a center point. Chris side slides, forward movement, center point, center point. Okay. So I think, Chris, you just forgot a little bit. Good move waiting. And now you got back online. Okay, good. P, Q, we'll take it. I mean, good side slide technique into the A, Lauren. Very happy with that. B, squeezing in from the side. Happy with the shape on this. Look at our C. Good. D, better one on this one. See the grip line. Like Steve, you could be a little bit more parallel to Lauren. Lauren's actually in a good spot. She's set up well. You're trying to see a little bit too much, so you're opening up. That's very common. Chris has a reach, so this is working well. But for now, for the shape, I would prefer that let's go more parallel. That means that knee will come a little bit closer to Chris. He doesn't have to reach for it, and we'll have a good grip line. This hand will go through this hand, will go through this hand. This line will be down here. Currently, the line is, we're missing it. You see that? Okay, so it's just a little bit lazy, but it's not bad. Movement into the E. We want to shut that down. F, really good. Really great G. I like, Chris, how you tightened this up. Remember when you did G's before, you were picking up G's at full arm stretch. So this is much nicer. Wait for Corinne on the end there. She hasn't got it, and you keyed. Okay. And somehow I haven't, I just knew this was coming because that was kind of one of our things. I'm not going to nitpick on it because we're learning. Inside center is a very responsible slot. So, you've got to figure out all these things like, picking up a grip, is my heading correct? Is tail on me? Is the top pair on? There's a lot of stuff going on. So these are things we're going to learn. Corinne, this angle you've got here, it's no good. We talked about this, which is why we did those drills later of being aggressive and pulling that knee towards you and anchoring with this leg. Because there was no anchoring going on here and you reaching, you kind of just reaching and trying to fly forward, you've lost all of your power. Okay, now keys, you're still trying to get it, trying to move, and now you're kind of left behind. Look at that. Confusion. That's totally normal, Chris, because I think as you keyed it, you realized something was wrong, you thought about it, and then we kind of forgot where we're going. This H, Lauren, think about taking this grip in the center, extending it forward, push your hand forward, which will bring you guys closer together, but you guys want to be a little bit more hip together. You're getting away with this, and Corinne's doing a good job there, but it's too far on the edge. I'd rather have much more margin for error than what we're currently at. Okay, so H is we've got to kind of bring your hips together a little bit. Okay. J, no bueno. So let's have a look at this H. Assuming that I mean, this is not an ideal edge, but here's the center point, right? Look where my mouse is. Okay, stop. Here's the center point. So Chris, you kind of squeezed it out. Lauren, you should have stopped right here. You're in a good spot. Chris, you could have opened up a little bit. I think because you stayed in the center a bit, Karina wants to kind of get in, and now she's backing up around the corner. And it squeezes Lauren out. Lauren backs up a little bit, and now we've got this movement. So it's not our best shape. Great technique here. Karina, I like that. Good body position. This K is better. Remember, before you had your head on some of the Ks were here. You were too far. You were too deep. This is a much better picture. Steve, great job up front there. Chris, really good. Let's see your key on this. Very nice. Lauren, you got to anticipate more and be a bit stronger, but that looks good. Actually, you're fine there. Take that back. Corinne, you're on. Close there. Oof. There comes the grip. Corinne's hand is getting on. That's on, and the key comes. Okay, good. Very nice. Okay, Chris, so if you look at the end before this, you took a right hand on the outside. This time you took a double. We talked about this. These are things we're going to get used to. You're going to take the same grip every single time. This build has to be the same every time. So we have consistency and continuity. So Lauren, every time she does it, she feels the exact same thing. If you take outside on one grip and inside on the next grip and things start to change, she's going to start to think about that, and she's going to wonder what caused that and why that happened, and whether she realizes it or not. It's going to take up space in her brain. So consistency is key for us. I know you like to take double inside grips, and that's a habit I was trying to break, so it's okay for now. It's going to take us a few sessions to get used to it. Okay. Nice, guys. Can you guys see already? I'm going to let this play, but have a look how we're start, stop, grips, communicate. Can you feel that it's starting to come in already? Every time you guys come in anti-chamber, I'm telling you the same thing. Let's settle it down, start, stop, grips, even over-exaggerate the picking up and the looking at the grip, communicate. Let's get that sequencing going, and it's starting to show already. Okay, and that was just, it was going so well that Corinne, you just decided this was the flow and you're going with it. And I mean, it was so far not even on. Corinne was on. Chris was nowhere near. We had a brain lock. I think Steve thought it was some different formation up front there. And by the time he did it, Corinne, you got faked out. Okay, so maybe you're trying to go back. I'm not sure. But anyway, part of the learning curve. Let's let Chris do this. F07. We want to offset this a little bit. So we had the opportunity from the O to offset it. So let's use that opportunity. F0. So Chris, you turn in a slight bit. Lauren, you turn out a slight bit, but our helmets need to be this helmet here, this helmet here. So just a little bit more offset from one another, but this isn't bad. So let's look at these turns. I'm going to go slow-mo. I'm going to look at the bottom pair. Lauren, not bad. I like your technique. Let's see if you stay in the same place. It's looking good. And now you back up, Lauren. And this is your thing. That leg, I think you're trying to do the right thing. The booty's coming over, but the knee's not down enough. And it looks like you have the right language in your legs, but it's not being effective. And you've over-rotated and you've gone backwards, which is why you kind of, if your head was forward here, Steve would have had a much easier job. So everything looks good. Everything looks good here, and now it's the stop. Lauren, you're starting to go backwards, and now you're traveling backwards, and the stop's not great. Kind of gets caught, Steve caught off guard. Steve, great turn. You're watching, you put your legs right behind. That's a beautiful cog. Can't ask for much better than that. Little bit, yeah, that's good. And now maybe you're thinking a little bit, yeah, I mean, Steven, you're doing a good job, Steve. You know, you're trying to get that. If Lauren her head was here, like a foot forward, that catch would have been beautiful. And now you've kind of missed it and you're trying to get it and come back to the beginning. Okay, so small thing. Let's have a look at Corinne. Corinne, you and Steve look at each other. So let's look at the build. There's the build. Not quite a fan of this hand. Let's see what it does. So it goes onto the hip, Corinne. Then it goes onto the leg, almost, and now it's on, but this hand of Steve is coming off. So this looks like even a bust. I guess your fingers are on, but we're going to work on you being a little bit more assertive, Kareem, just so we don't have to have these discussions like, was it on, was it off? Okay. Okay, that's a good cog-ish. Not bad. I'm going to look at your next one, Corinne and Chris. Look at this O. 7. Okay, so this is very common, Corinne. You were doing this a lot. And we talked about the pausing. So as we go, we key. You should be watching Chris, but more importantly, you should be waiting for his legs to come through here. You start your movement, but now you're kind of committed to it, Corinne. So as you start to go, look where your leg, it gets into his leg. This knee should be behind his knee. You just had to wait a little bit more. And now, because there's nowhere for you to go, you have to back up. Otherwise, you're going to hit him. Or you're going to have to do what you're doing here, which is scrunchy. You've lost your turn position altogether. And now you have to come back and fight for it. And now all you're trying to do is get back and fight because you've never comfortable turn. And now you're looking. So that wasn't ideal. Let's go look at the next one. So Chris, we'll look at your technique. I think you're struggling with fall rates and levels a little bit. I'm going to cut you a little bit of slack here. But Corinne, you're starting to turn. That's not bad, but you turned quick. But now you learned from the previous one. You don't want to bump him, so you're going to give yourself space. So that knee, look how Steve is behind Lauren. He's watching her leg, and he put his leg in her body. That's a real cog. You're kind of doing it, but your knee needs to be here. Corinne, you need to be tighter on him. Now you're turning kind of out, you're really leaning into it, and now you really want to get back. At this point, Corinne, if you just wait, let Chris finish his turn, his side body will be presented to you, but you're in quite a hurry, and your leg just stop is letting you down, and that's a consistent theme with you. Great position, great start. Sometimes your starts let you down, and now you're really trying to go back and get it. Whoop, and we lost it, and Chris, you didn't stop very well either. Okay, so we need some work there. We did work on him later, so we'll come back to that. Let's have a look what we got here. This is an E14. Okay. Okay, so immediately I can see Steve. You're waiting for that. You're doing that little pause, which is great. So if we start here, watch this. Corinne, you're almost gone. Steve is pausing a little bit just to let Chris get that slight head start. Now he goes. I'm looking at the bottom pair now. Well, not the bottom pair. I'm looking at Chris and Steve. Chris is finished first. Could have caught Steve. It wasn't your best one for whatever reason. Maybe it was the end. Let's look at the next one. Here we go. Okay. Okay. That was not team speed. I'm going to go to the next one. Good J, guys. A little bit of movement. Good E. It's getting better. Better build. You stop putting in so much momentum into those 14s, which is nice. So look at our team speed. So Lauren, a little bit ahead already. You guys should be equal. These should be symmetrical, and these flies should be symmetrical. So we want team speed here. Steve, we're going. Now you should be slowing up. Steve, you want to really ensure that he gets around and catches it perfectly. That's a good catch. Lauren, you get set for a good catch. Bring your catch in, Lauren. Key. Not bad, guys. J, E. Keep it still. Click, click, go. Very nice. Those are good ones. They got better. They got much better. The shape could be slightly better, but overall, I'm happy with these. We slowed them down. Good team speed. I think we talked about it between rounds. Not the best build, but boom. Okay, Chris, you're doing well. I think your stop is letting you down, so you're picking up and you have a little bit of momentum. That's not helping you a lot. You need to breathe and calm it down a little bit, guys. Steve, you guys really got to, you guys can turn quickly, but it puts pressure on the catches. You don't really want to do that, okay? So this really has to slow the whole thing down, and a smooth dare I even say slower close will lead into the next point a lot better. Okay, so this is not one of those blocks. It's a really long block. It's in the line, it's one of the slowest blocks in the pool. So let's not overdo it. Let's work on cleanliness and consistency rather than speed on this. Okay, so a little bit of this pair, kind of in the same spot. Lauren, we're not. Lauren got left behind, so Corinne could have maybe seen like, Lauren's not quite there. I'm going to slow it down a tiny bit so we can get Lauren in. But Lauren, I think, as you turned outwards a little bit and you had to get back into it a little bit. Wasn't your best one, but you did have some good ones there. Okay, let's look at our 15. That was next. We'll try to go to the second session. And that's this first or second. Let's see. All right, so good 15. Sometimes we were really in the center because I felt we could have opened it up and pushed everything more to the outsides a little bit, but generally this was good. Good center work, and then Steve, great work from you overall. Okay, Chris, that was Steve was kind of figuring his life out. He wasn't quite ready yet. So if you look, he's trying to get it. And as the hand gets on, you key. Okay, I know it's difficult. You probably did the right thing because it's hard for him. But now he's going to look back and he's going to see your hands off and he's going to be confused about was that a key, was it not a key. See that, and he's a little bit late off it. So got to just direct a little bit better there. Okay. Again, Chris may be coming too far into the center. Look, we're using half the tunnel. Stay here, Chris. Stay here. We'll put Corinne back here. Okay, and we'll open up more space. So these guys are jammed up here. It did get better, but there's nothing Steve can do once he's picking up a bad grip like that. Look, very nice. This is better. Okay, good M build, good O build. Take it for now. Not time for 15 yet, but that's a much better build. Okay, I like this. Let's look at the 15. Stop on 270. Chris, really nice. Corinne, you're picking up early, but you're not hurting him, so I'm happy with that, although that right hand might, yeah, you missed it. Okay, that's fine. So Lauren, you were good. You should watch, Lauren. Like here, you come around, Lauren. Now you should be watching. Look, they're nowhere near to finished yet. So don't finish your move. Watch. Even here, stall, Lauren, stall. See where this is going to end up because we're not sure yet. There it goes. Now, Lauren, you're finished. You're backing up into him, but he hasn't even finished his move yet. He's not ready for you. You could have left your knees out here, like this side a little bit. Wait for it, and then as that's finishing, then click in. You could have stayed right here, but you ran into him, and he had to kind of get out your way and pick you up, and that's a very uncomfortable position where he is right now. Okay, so you're just slightly too eager to finish that up. That's nice. Look at this beautiful build. Okay, very easy for Steve to get you. I'm quite happy with this. This looks good. Lauren, almost too soon again. Okay, you're finished. Later on, we'll build outside in and we'll click this last. But for now, Steve and Chris are doing a good job. They're guaranteeing their catch. Now you're going to look. That's good. Beautiful. All right, I'm going to let one more play. Let's see how this goes. Randoms are looking much better, you guys. Okay, Corinne, you got caught on your stop there a little bit, okay? Chris, you're going to have to just make you slightly better use of the center. See how you're turning? You're turning. That's not bad, actually. I like that. Lauren, you've got to do that big rollout. That's how it works. I like this. Now, Chris, sometimes when you key, you seem like you're a little off balance. I think your legs are letting you down. Now you're trying to turn with this. Your legs aren't quite into it yet. Now it starts to come in. And your spine is straight, but you're really forcing it with your upper body. And now you're trying to, not bad, but we can definitely work on that technique a little bit. But overall, guys, I was very impressed. Like, we threw in all the random blocks, and you guys handled them really well. I was very impressed. Okay. Already we've gone so long on this video. Let's have a look. QPJ9 maybe. QPJ9. Communicate. Okay, I don't have to point it out, but I will. Chris, this was a good one. Corinne, I think, she wasn't quite ready, or I think it was maybe from here, because we know that you need to stay exactly where you are. Chris, this is the line. Laura needs to turn on to you. and then you turned, and then you came back. So I think you just had a micro brain lock. Maybe you faked Karine out. I'm not sure where she's looking, but she got out of sorts. And you're thinking, oh, we can go, and you keyed off before she was on. Okay? So we've got to watch that, but I will keep pointing it out, and we'll get better with time. Okay? This was actually a bit of a meltdown. Let's move on. Next is, what do we do next? Maybe the cat trolls and things? I think we did cat trolls. Perfect. Let's check it out. Okay, so we're over-exaggerating this, Karine, but the point was to pick it up, and I see how high you're picking up. Pick up in the middle there. That's where it's easy to pick up a cat grip there. Unless you're flying certain blocks, there's no reason to pick up a cat up top here. It just makes your life more difficult. Okay, I do understand with Chris, he's got that suit that the grip's end so short on his knee. It doesn't have a big bucket scoop like our suits where the gripper comes down here. His gripper ends right here, but use the biggest part of the bucket on the gripper. But now you want to see, I'm resisting you a bit. You want to dig that knee down, extend this leg. See how your body turned. That knee's not anchoring at all. Not a great way to pick up cat grips. So let me reverse a couple. Let's see here. So again, the cheat is too much. You're trying to get this. I'm making my legs wide and I'm going away from you, and you're just trying to get it. See how you're flying? I shouldn't be able to fly you around like that. Lean back into it, dip that knee, and be solid. Like really hold on to me while you're doing that. Okay, I think we did better the next time. Let's come back to it. See what we got here. So this is me with Chris, right? Let's have a look. Stop. Stop, Chris. Stop. Stop. Okay, so see where my hand is, Karine? And Chris, for that matter. In the middle there on the bucket. See that left knee? It's my little anchor, and I pull that towards me. I've got the elbow out. I pull it. I get the grip, and I've actually brought him towards me. And I don't always have to manhandle him like that. I can pick up my grip, but I'm still have the same amount of strength. I've still got that I'm locked in with my knee. I've lifted my elbows to give me lift, because sometimes you pick up cat grips and your elbows come in, you feel like you're sinking out. So you're kind of on the edge there. So open up the elbows, give me the lift, anchor with the knee, and I'm really in control of this. Okay. So see how strong it is. You can pull on them, and unless you do this anchor, this here at the bottom, and you really lean into it, Karine, because Chris outweighs you, if you kind of just pull on him and he's kind of solid, you're going to go. You're going to fly around the back of him because he outweighs you. It's just a mass game. So you really want to kind of lean into it, pull on it, get your hand across, and when you're picking up, I don't think you have to pull him towards you. If he's set up well, as you get that grip, as you extend your right hand, Karine, just think about kind of pulling him slightly towards you and kind of locking it out. So it might change the mindset of I'm reaching for the grip to I'm bringing the grip to me. Okay. Chris will probably stay still, but he's going to feel that, you're on there. You're nice and strong. And then when you let go, he's going to know about it. Okay. And then he can start to adapt his strength and his body position accordingly to how you're picking up the grips. Because he did say a couple of times, like he doesn't even know if you're on or not. All right, let's see what's happening. So we did this cat roll. We did some of those star 360s. Just let me see. I want to do the other hand. So good job. Left hand, pull. Okay. Very nice. All right. Chris will turn. Let's see. Okay. Just fast forwarding. I think Chris did it next, or did we do wait for the buzzer? All right. Lauren and Steve. Let's have a look. Okay. So the stops are kind of evading both of you. So we're looking at body position here. So Lauren, we want to turn. We're going to do a right turn, which means we kind of want to change the language of your legs here to the other way. And it does happen, but only after you've started. Now you're starting to go, and now you kind of change with the booty. It just takes you a second, but I'm okay with it. Steve, I love how you watch. You watch, you watch, you put yourself in, but then what happens is you kind of go neutral. You kind of just really go neutral and look now, you're not flat anymore. And we've talked about this. You've got to stay flat. Anytime you're spinning, you've got to stay flat. The minute you get body pitched like this, it usually means things are not going to end up very smooth towards the end. Sorry guys, I don't know what's happening here. Let's see. Let's give it a sec. I've got two screens running and I've got a ton of programs open. Maybe that wasn't wise, but it's okay. Come on. Okay, so your stop, Lauren, isn't bad. This leg likes to do its thing. It seems like this is your default position. You know, right knee open, left booty over. Okay, I've clicked it too many times. Let's see what goes. Sorry guys. I don't know what's happening. I'm just going to close this, open it up again. All right, let's go. There we go. Don't know what happened there. Here we go. Okay, see again, Steve, body a little bit off pitch. You bring it back well, but now you've picked up the grip. You haven't, your legs have let you down totally. You're not really ready to pick up this grip. So if you're picking it up, I want to see strong language from your legs that you're in control and you're ready to pick it up. And that was an over-rotation from you there, Lauren. So both of you not staying as flat as you could. That was a better one. Your 360 seemed better. 7s, Lauren, not bad. Better. Drill them again. Let's see. Stop. Good language on your legs from the 360s. Steve. Not bad there as well. I'd like to see more legs and more control. Stop. Like hold that for longer so you flow out of it with power. That's all over the place, guys. No bueno. No bueno. We need to work on that. Okay. Well, I think I came in. Let me see what I did there. I think I was just trying to show the stop. So watch, leg start. See how I'm stopping ahead of time, which you don't have that language, Steve, ahead of time. So when I come out of it, look, I'm still holding it, and now I'm in control when I stop. Start. I'm also watching. I've got the leg down, and I mean, this is maybe overly aggressive, but I'm going, I'm halfway. Now I'm halfway. I've switched, or more than, I'm 270. I've switched, I'm stopping, and I'm controlling my stop. So I can stop exactly where I want. Okay, and I hold that for longer until I've stopped. Hold my stop, almost till I go the other way, and then I release it. Okay, as opposed to the stop is just something you do, like you stab at it. Okay, you really want to hold that power almost until you go the other way, then find the edge. And if it was perfect, if Steve had come around and he picked me up and I needed to move out of it, I would have had the power to then increase that stop motion and just reverse out of it if I needed to. Okay. All right, so that's kind of what we're looking for. See what was next. Okay. Corinne and Chris doing their thing, trying to get their bottom pair relationship going. Very nice. I remember Chris coming out and saying like he really enjoyed this, and he also liked it. Right at the end, I said to Corinne like, hey, take that lower grip. And he took it, and Chris really enjoyed that. He said it felt so much better. Okay. It does look a little bit awkward sometimes the way you're picking up that, but I'm really happy with the way you're picking up these grips, Corinne. overall strength, much better. I think here I told you, okay, let's scoop the bucket part of the grip. That's it. Boom. Nice. Okay. Good job, you two. What do we got here? I think we did the bottom pair do this one next. Nice, Korean. Very nice. Look at the slow-mo. Both of you, decent start. Good start, Corinne. Look at your body position. You're very dynamic. I like it. It's just enough to get you going. A little bit of upper body tweak. You got the booty over and the knee out. It's very nice. A little bit of leading, and now you need to reverse that into the stop. There it is a bit, I guess. But now there's nothing. Now it's coasting. And look at that, a bit of a floaty into the end of it. Let's look at this. See, Corinne, you've gone too soon. There's no cogging. So all you have to do is, in order not to hit him, you have to back up. There's a tiny cog there, but it's not a lot, and you're kind of off axis. I'm not sure what this is. You haven't trusted that you could stay arched, drop the knee, and just spin with power. Because I think in your subconscious, you're just used to hitting these legs. So there's something about it like, oh, I'm going to scrunch. I don't want to hit those legs, but it's too late. I think if you just waited longer, you would have had all this space in each side here where you could have extended your body, been in a natural position, and really just spun with it. Okay, we wouldn't have had to have this big close at the end where you guys have to come together. Again, too soon. Too soon. Corinne. That's better. Knee to knee. Almost too soon. Chris, I'm not a fan of your position. I know you're struggling with 4-8 a little bit. So, you know, I'm giving you a pass for now, but we're going to have to work on your control of your legs as well a little bit, because it's almost like you're leading with your upper body, Chris, and your legs are kind of, you're throwing yourself around. See how you bring your hands back? Watch this, Chris. Sometimes you kind of bring your hands back, you're throwing, look at this. Body is bent, arms sometimes pull way back, you know, you just pull your elbows way back here. These legs are not engaged at all. You're just throwing yourself, and now you've got all this momentum, which you're trying to stop, and you often do it by kicking your legs out. Look at that. Kick, 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 and then there's a little wobble at the end here. It's not ideal. I know you can do better because I've seen you do better a bunch. So we're gonna have to work on that a little bit more with you, for sure. And if you're gonna be inside center, there's a lot of those side slides where you have to, you know, and movements where you have to get in and present a leg to tail so they can get you. So you got to be strong with your center point and with your legs, for sure. So let's go on a bit to this next chair. Okay, so this is you, Corinne. I want you to practice cogging. Too soon, Corinne. Look where your legs are. Oh. Sorry guys, I hope you can hear fireworks outside my house. 10 o'clock. It's usually midnight, but like monster fireworks. It's crazy. I don't know what's going on. Okay, Corinne, look here. We've got way too much space. Okay, because you're not going. Maybe you're looking at my head. Like here we start to turn, but then you turn. But you didn't wait enough to stick your knee into this hole here where it needs to be. And it's not far. We're talking 6 inches, but it's going to make a difference because now you're going away because your body knows. Like sometimes you clip knees. So as you start, you scrunch and you go away. Now we finish and look where you are. And now you have to drive back to it. Okay. So I know you had an epiphany at the end. You were like, I got it. I know what I'm doing wrong. You fixed the whole thing. So I'm kind of preaching to the choir here. But again, straight away we did the same thing. Okay? Now saying, look at my leg. Wait, wait, wait. I'm going really slowly as well. I'm not cranking out a turn. I'm really giving you time to get in behind it. There we go. There we go. Not bad. But I think you needed to push forward and wait a little bit more for me. Again, have to come back for the catch. I'm like, hey, I've told you you're going out. You need to stay closer on me. Too far out. It's a better spot to be in. Better. That would have been very nice. If you had a bit of power in your stop, that would have been a much better catch at the end. Better. Better. Nicer. Okay, let's see. There you go. Now you're getting in there. Now you're putting your knee. It was just a slower. You're watching me. You're waiting. You're actually letting. You're not just seeing this knee. You're having a look at making sure both my legs get through. And I mean, I could probably put them together. If you watch the top teams, they really do close their legs together, and there's a whole technique on that, where they start, they close them, they spin, and then they expand at the end of it. But you just got to wait a little bit. But there, you're in the gap. That's perfect. Don't turn out now. Stay in, and now stop, 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 stop. Stay under power when you stop. Better. Better. Okay. Let's move on. I know this has already gone like 6 hours. So do that, yeah. FOBs. All right, this is our last one, FOB6. Before this, we did 9M7. Let me rewind to that as quickly. We'll watch that one, and then we'll look at this block. And then we're done. Then we're done. Sorry. Oh, that was it. Sorry, I thought we did the 9M7. We didn't do that. So let's watch our block. So this is our first one. We did repeat. So we'll look at it. We'll look at this first one, then we'll go back. Good random. Good random. Now remember what I said, guys, that the reason we threw this block in here was not to have a perfect block, although I'm going to talk about some of the specifics, but the goal was to disrupt your randoms, because up until now we had been really focusing about start, stop, grips, communicate, shapes. Are the shapes right? Let's keep it tight. Let's not move around the corner. These are the things we're trying to build up in our random work, plus training everyone on their slot, especially Chris on the inside. That's what we're going for. Now we throw this block in here, which we walked, you've done before, and it adds a whole new dynamic, because it's not going to go perfectly. There's a lot of things going on. Chris's brain is now expanded, and at the end of this, he has to get back to that. Okay, FOB. We finished the 6, FOB 6. Now we get through this, whatever it is. Okay, now back into this random mode, FOB 6. You know, and that's the job of that inside center, to bring it back, get through that random sprint, and then manage this whole process. And that takes a bit of training. A couple of times you saw Chris make the catch, he smiled, he laughed, he missed it, he shook his head, and then he forgot, he didn't forget, but he didn't key the next point. And these are all things that we're going to have to, for especially Chris, but all of us, learn to go through. So that was the pure goal of this jump. And Steve just texted me on my watch for the debrief. I'm going to reply to you right now, and I'm going to say 5 minutes, stand by, text sent. Okay, so random. Nice, very good on that one, guys. So these first couple were actually really nice. Decent communication. Laura needs to anchor a little bit harder. Look at this good shape. So we have a shape here. We have a shape here. Karine, you start to go through. Very nice. So this previous one and this one, guys, we were actually successful. They started off nicely. I was like, this is going well. And then they got worse. And that's going to be a learning curve for us as we start our block trading, is to hold back. We have 1 or 2 good ones. That means we stay like that. If there's time that we can increase it, if we can add more power or more speed, or we can go sooner, I'll tell you. And that's part of our training. But if it's working the way it is, don't get complacent and think, this is easy. I can go faster, or I can go sooner, because then it starts to deteriorate. And that's a very common problem and something we're going to look at a lot. So this is looking very nice now. Nice randoms. Good block build. Happy with it, you guys. Look at this. Very nice. Good job on that. Okay, now let's look at that close. Chris, I want you to have a look at this. This thing closes. The catch, and it's a grip. It's done, right? How long was that F? Like, we should have caught, into the FOB. This is our random sprint. We've just done an hour, 30 minutes, and 30 minutes the other day of randoms. You guys should be FOB, FOB. I mean, these are slow FOBs, right? We can do better on that. If I had just given you guys FOBM or something to do, you guys would have been like going through that like it was nothing, right? Like a hot knife through butter. So that's what we want to get to. Finish. Okay, where's our little random sprint? So let's look. I think we have one more left in the bank. Here it is. Okay. Here we go. B, 6. Okay, where's our FOB? F, O, B. Not bad. Okay, not as crisp as it was, but not bad. Not a lot of levels, not a lot of movement. You guys aren't reaching for grips. I feel like you are doing your stop-start grips. Communicate. Okay, so I'm going to rewind to the 6 before this. Let's have a look at this. So here's our 6. Pretty successful 6. I'm going to pause it. So build. Lauren, you're starting to build your level a little bit. Forward move. Steve's just kind of coming with you a little bit. It's great. Make it a little bit high. Lauren, you should have turned here and hockey stopped with his knee, but it's fine. I feel like sometimes you're going too far. Chris isn't quite through. You're a little bit lazy with the legs. I want to see more technique and engagement from your lower body. But we basically got a 90 degree, an L piece here, half of the square down at the bottom. It's coming through. Goes over. Good catch. Wasn't terrible. Okay. Now, because we had a whole jump of semi-successful 6s before this first one started well. Now we all decided like, oh, okay, he can do this. All right. Long into the FOB. Not our best FOB, so let's look at the 6 bolt. So now what happens? We start to build it. We get the level going. Corinne, look at your center point. Look where it is now. I'm going to put the mouse on it. I'm going to reverse you. Okay, so here comes the key. Already you started to move, Corinne. I'm not sure why. Right? You should be dead still there. You shouldn't be moving at all. Corinne, what you want to do is take this right hand, feed it through, push it to the left, and help Chris come through. And as you do that, as you feed this hand forward here, you turn on the spot. Okay? But immediately, we haven't even started to go yet. And I'm going to put my mouse here. You're backing up, Corinne. You're going around the corner. Now look where your center point is. It was where my mouse is. Look where it is now. All the way. So you've gone around him. You're in a little bit of a hurry. Right? So we keyed it before we'd really built the level with the top pair. So the top pair is building level. Chris was going. We should all recognize this, but it's okay. But now, Corinne, you're in a hurry. You start to go around. Here comes Lauren. She's doing her little stop, but look at Corinne, you're right underneath her. And now she's going over the falls. And now she's in life-saving mode. Right? It's very difficult for her. She's in your burble. She's just trying to stop it. And look at that. She's struggling. She's struggling. She can't finish a stop. She gets around and you make it, but look at that. Boom. Okay. Now look how that affected our random page. Not great. Look again. Okay, this was better. More patience on this one. Very good. Chris brain knock. Cost us some time in our randoms there. Okay, and it was close, Corinne, but you almost did it again. We had one successful one. And we got like, okay, here we go. You're backing up. You're going around the corner, Corinne. Almost too soon. At this point, you should have stayed where you were, first of all. Take that hand that's here. Lead it in front of you. Push it in front of you to the left. That will turn your upper body so your head ends up here. Okay? It makes for a much easier close, but you're kind of going around the corner. Corinne hasn't quite, Lauren hasn't quite made it. You're already burbling her, and now she's trying to save her life. And you guys make it happen, but it wasn't ideal, and now it's really slow into that random sprint. Okay. Again, a little bit too soon. Corinne, we're going under there. You're just burbling the bottom of Lauren, and you're causing it. So originally, Lauren, I said like, you kind of sucked a little bit at your move. I could tell Corinne was going a little bit too soon, but I felt like you weren't being flat and doing enough of a forward. 90 hockey stop enough. Upon watching the video, I realized like you're getting enough burble that it's hurting you. However, so you did a good job. I'm happy with, I think it's just a timing issue, which is easily fixable. However, Lauren, I would like to say when the key comes, pitch forward, turn. Now you should be hockey stopping. That's enough. This leg should be coming down already. You should be flat, and you should be holding your ground hard, really hard. You do, yeah, that's okay. Looking okay. Steve can do his little hop now. We can make the catch. Okay, and then we can release it immediately, and then we could all anticipate F, O, B. And Chris, if you had taken the initiative with that, you'd caught the catch and looked and then been like, okay, guys, here I come. Here comes the conducting hand. F. Right hand on the F. Turn. Right, and then left hand on the O. And then B. Conducting, like with authority, taking control of it. That way, they're like, oh, look at Chris. He's really on it. He's telling us how to go. And then you can start to catch and go into it sooner and use that body language and encourage the pace. And with your body language, you tell them how fast or how slow, when we're going, when we're not going. So I really want you to work on that, Chris. Like, you have to take ownership, take leadership of this team. I want them to look at you and know that you know where you're going, you're in control, and they can follow you. Okay. Watch a couple more here. Well, little verbal. But you guys are making it work. We fixed that little thing with you guys, Corinne, of just pausing and bringing that grip through. We get Lauren to go forward and hockey stop. Like, that's almost too much. Sometimes that's a good one, right? Nice. I do feel though, however, Lauren, if the walls weren't here sometimes, I feel you turn because you know there's a wall coming up. I think in the sky you'd go too far. That's just, you know, the video it looks okay, but that's just the feeling I got at the time, which is why I was like, oh, it's not ideal. But I do take it back. Overall, guys, I thought it was great. From where we started to where we ended with the randoms, the video is not actually showing you how good it looked and how good it felt from an outside perspective. Like, it looked like you guys were turning, you were much more crisp, you were stopping, you were picking up, you were communicating. Lauren, towards the last end, when I said to you, I don't want you to turn and reach for the grip, even though you know it's there. I want you to turn, stop, and actually focus on the grip for a second and look back. I know it seems like it's extra overhead that's not necessary, but I think once you started to get into that mindset a little more, things started to neaten up. And we can come out of that later on, but for now, I really want to get at work on the synchronicity, because this is going to be the difference between the really good teams and just the average teams. You know, like, we're all going, like I said before, our blocks are going to be similar. Hopefully we're going to get consistent at them, but it's what happens in between. How tight and how crisp are we? How much margin for error do we have? Those are things that can make the difference at the end. Okay, that's it. Peace out, Cub Scouts. Talk to you soon. Bye.